Hello.
Hello,
This is Sam.
this is Kylie.
Welcome to another episode of Two Peas Potting, our podcast filled with bookish banter and, I'm not even going to lie to you, a lot of judgment.
Not even a side anymore.
Not even a side. It's a full
The
heaping.
main dish, yeah. It's the
The
entree.
main dish. It's like a 4-course meal.
Yeah, exactly. So, today, we're bringing you another different type of episode again. And we're focusing on libraries versus buying books and our personal book buying habits.
Yeah. Do as we say, not as we do on those
Oh,
book
yeah.
buying habits. You might be broke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you'll be happy. But
You'll be happy. I don't know if you have this, but I have this really bad habit. When I'm in a reading slump, I have no problem buying books. I just don't read them.
Absolutely. I'm like, oh, I really want to read this one. And then I bring it home and I'm like, well, I don't feel like reading it right now. And then I put it on my shelf.
Yep. I have like a little pile next to my little bedside table of books I just bought this last week. There's like 5 of them. It's fine.
Yeah, I have piles around my room of books and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll read that. And then I'm like looking at my shelf because I'm like, oh, I'm in a reading slump. I really need something to read. And I was like, don't feel like reading that. Don't want to read that. Don't want to read that.
Yeah, nothing looks interesting on your shelf when you're in a reading slump. And so you're like, let me go buy one. It looks interesting when you buy it, but then you bring it
Yeah,
home
I'm like,
and
oh
you're
yeah, I
like,
want to read this. And then I get home and I'm like, I don't feel like reading.
I get that. I totally get that.
But see, that I feel is where the library comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a good library near you, I think that's like the big thing. Because I feel like sometimes like libraries are so hit and miss on if they're gonna have stuff, especially newer books that are like
Yes.
just coming out.
Because
Like,
usually the wait list for those are even like super long anyways. So it's like,
and they have a copy of it, and you're like, all right,
yeah.
y'all, you know this is like a highly anticipated book.
Why do you only have the one copy? Like, that's just what I want to know.
Yes, I agree. That was like the Butcher and Blackbird trilogy. I bought the first book and I really liked it. But then I was like, because I've like after the second book came out, I saw online that people were like, "Oh, it's not as good as the first one," which is very common.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't really want to buy it. And so I went to the library and checked it out, but I had to wait a decent amount of time because they didn't have it when it first came out. They had to wait. I think somebody donated it.
Okay.
And then they bought a copy, but then we had to wait for them to come in, and then there was a wait list.
I hate wait list.
Me too. And I think that's where it's hard. Like, I feel like for me, the buying versus going to the library is, for one, if I'm in a reading slump and it's a book that I want, I will buy it.
Yes.
Because I know I'm not going to read it in that, like, 3-week time frame that the library gives me.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, if I'm like, oh, but I'm not sure if I'm going to want this book, I'll check it out from the library because then I'm like, okay, I have to read this in 3 weeks.
Yes. Yes. You see, I get that logic. I actually just did that because, as we've both said, we were in a reading slump last month, the month prior for Sam too. Last month for me in particular, I only read 2 books last month, which is very unlike me, as you know.
I'm so surprised. I somehow busted out 6 books last month.
Yeah, I'm impressed with you. I saw that and I was like, whoa.
I read quite a few little novellas because I needed something to get me out of the slump, and I'm like, I need something short that I can just read and finish in one setting that I don't have to come back to.
Yes. So that's why I like to go to the library sometimes, because it helps me get out of a reading slump in the sense of like there's a due date, so I have to read that book type of deal. And it actually worked. A book got me out of my reading slump, and it was Red, White, and Royal Blue. I got it from the library. It's amazing, dude. Like, it's my very first LGBTQ book that I've read. I fucking loved it. It was amazing. They say the word strumpet in it, which is even more amazing because I swear to God, no one else knows that word, and I say it all the time.
You do say it a lot.
I've been saying it since high school. Like, that's one of my favorite words. And people are like, strumpet. I'm like, yeah, take that, you dirty little strumpet. If you don't know what that means, it's the Shakespearean whore. Which could be a compliment. You know, I don't know how whorish they actually were.
That's true.
They could have just been like showing a little too much cleavage. I'll take it.
No, they showed too much ankle. Get it right.
Oh, ankle. That's right. My bad.
My bad. Yeah, that's one I want to read, but I'm not going to check it out from the library because my sibling has it, and so I'm just going to borrow it.
Okay.
I was going to read it last summer because I wanted to read it around 4th of July because fuck the government. Make something really piss them off. But I was in a reading slump last summer too.
You
And we
were.
just moved, so
Yeah. Well, you were, but then as soon as you got out there, you were like reading books left and right.
because okay, the thing was prior to moving, I was reading the Stupid Throne of Glass series, and I wasn't letting myself read other things whilst reading that series because I knew I wouldn't finish it. And then I finally finished the dumb tandem read, and then I was like, I need a break before starting the last freaking book. And that's when I was like, reading everything.
Oh yeah.
I blame that book for me not making my reading goals. I mean, that series.
Yeah, that really kind of destroyed your whole
Fuck
motivation.
that series. I don't care what anybody says, it's trash. I will die on this hill.
I know you will. I love that it gets brought up almost every episode. You're like, I don't care what you think about my opinion.
I
Because
will
it's just
stand by
that.
it.
It's your opinion, you know? Like, everybody has their own opinions on certain books, certain authors, certain things in general. Like, me with Miss McFadden over here. That's just my opinion.
Yes, this is her.
It's fine.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
I'm not gonna stalk her. I'm not gonna go to that level. But would it be cool to go to a book signing? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like,
I really want to go to a book signing.
so do I. But, like, I want it to be an author that I genuinely love reading their books, not just like any
I
author, you
really
know?
want to go to a Rebecca Yarros one
That would be
because
super cool.
she's not that far from me.
Yeah, that's kind of the bad thing about Frida McFadden. She's like in Boston. That's across
No,
the country.
no, we gotta go to the East Coast and have a vacation.
We could finally ice skate in New York.
And go to the hella cool Barnes and Noble in New York.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, that
Yeah.
tangent. Libraries
Libraries.
fine.
I love the libraries. I just got my library card back or going again, my library account, whatever you want to call it, like last year after not going for like over 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like our hometown library, when we were younger, wasn't good. Like, they didn't have anything. And I feel like libraries have kind of made this, like, resurgence.
They've made like a comeback, and I initially wanted to go back to the library just because I wanted to get back into reading again, and I didn't want to like buy all these books that I didn't really know enough about today's books, if that makes sense. Like, because I've been a reader my whole life, but I was stuck in like the older books, like, you know, the Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Divergent, all those books that have been around for a long time, and every book that I have on my shelf. And I was like, I need to get more into these new books. And then I started reading Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
And that's what like got me back into my reading era, I guess.
Yeah. I
And I got it from the library.
I wish. See, my problem was when we still lived in California, the library that was closest to me was awful. Like, never open. Every time I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get a library card. I would
What, in
drive by the
Butte?
library and close.
The Butte one?
Huh?
The Butte
Yeah.
one? I went there once.
Always closed. I went there once and I lived there 10 years.
Jesus.
And so then I finally got one in Yuba, and I didn't really use the library card. I used it for Libby.
Yes. That's actually why one of the other reasons why I got the library card is because I think you told me about Libby. And I was like, oh, let me see. And then I thought my account was still active. It wasn't. But I mean, makes
And then
sense.
that was always in my brain. I thought you had to pay for a library card. And I feel like when we were kids, we had to. Like, I vividly remember my dad paying for it. And I don't know if
Yeah,
that's just because my dad never took me to the library to turn my books in on time, and that's why we owed money,
it could have.
or
Because I had to owe money a lot because I used to be always super late with my library books when I was a kid. But I'm gonna blame that on my mom. I
yeah, you
couldn't
didn't have one.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I couldn't drive and I was like it was before I got my license, so I was like, in that weird awkward teenager phase. Like still not quite ready for your permit, so it was like 12 to 14 that time period.
yeah,
The awkward time. And so we always had to pay like a couple dollars because it was always late. Speaking
yeah.
of library though, I actually have something funny to show you. So, you know those little free libraries that you see everywhere?
Build one.
Yes. So I found this book in Her Soul to Take. I'm excited to read it. I haven't read it yet, obviously. I
Me
lucked out
either.
because, it's book one. Guess where it's from?
The library.
The Denver Public Library.
They stole it and didn't return it.
Here, it's the one that's near my house. And I was like, you're a long way from home, buddy. Because, mind you guys, I live in California.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
I
wonder. I
know.
don't know. Dang, that is crazy. But we
Yeah,
should read that one because I have it on my shelf and I haven't read it. I got it for Christmas.
I'm down. I'm so down. Yeah, it looks pretty. Like the pages that are in here, because like there's some black pages.
No, I haven't opened mine.
Well, yeah, because I saw all the darkness on the edges. I don't know if you could see that, and I was like, oh, is there like graphics in it? And I was like, ooh,
Mine is the sprayed edge one.
oh, even better. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that
I'm
was the
not
one.
going to complain because this was just in the free little libraries. And that's another thing that I think people need to take more advantage of because I have this pile of books that like I might read but also might give away because they're thrift books that I was into at the time, but I've just never gotten around to them. So I like to use those for like my free library stuff because that's a good way to like get rid of them and then find a good home maybe or like get recycled.
I feel like personally, I don't like taking my books to like the thrift store because for one, I feel like they get more thrashed at the thrift store because I'm very much a take very good care of my book person.
Me too.
Um and I just feel like thrift stores are very unfair when it comes to the price of some of the books that they ask for.
Yes, I agree.
And yeah, I mean, you could also donate books to the library
But even then,
too.
they get thrashed too, because like, look at this one for example. Like,
Yeah. But I don't know. I like the little free libraries because like I like how you can go on like the website and find all of them in your area.
can you?
Yeah. So when you because I'm gonna build one and I'm gonna put one in my front yard. And so when you make your library, you register it for free on like the little free library website and you pick your town and it'll show you where exactly all the little free libraries are, like where you're at.
My God, that'll save me so much gas because I literally just drive around until I find one in my town. And
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
you
they're
can find them and
everywhere.
it'll tell you exactly where they're at.
Yeah, because like, I mean, as Sam knows, because we're from the same town, and I'm back in our hometown right now. We, my home county, I should say, because our hometown is like small little towns next to each other, but all the same
Yes.
county. But they're like everywhere throughout the county, and I just drive around and find them.
I didn't figure they would have a lot there.
There's a ton.
I feel like they got really popular during COVID.
Yes, yes. So I first saw them when we lived in Butte County.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
where I saw them
everywhere.
too.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh.
was the first time I'd ever seen them, and I was like, "That's so cute. That's such a good idea." And then when I came back here is when I saw them everywhere, and I was like, "I need to take advantage of these more." And so now I just do it all the time. And like it's convenient that there's one like up the street from me, but
I
also
really can.
a lot of my books are in there, so I'm like, I obviously don't want to read those.
Yeah, I put them there. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like, I tried like selling my books at like those stores where you can like trade in books for store credit and do that, and they just don't offer you anything for your books. Like, and I understand like they have to make money, but like we went to this one store. Remember when I went to go trade in? I went to trade in my Throne of Glass series. I had the whole
Yeah.
Throne of Glass series, and it looked brand new. Like it did
Mm-hmm.
not look like it was red. And it was I did the tandem reading, they were tabbed, and so I was like, I was thinking I would at least get like $80. I wasn't expecting the full because I spent a
Don't you
hundred
spend like
and
150 or something?
yeah, I spent like 150 when I bought them all. Because I bought them I didn't buy them as a set, I bought them like one at a time,
Mm.
or a couple at a time. And they offered me $20. And I was like,
That was ridiculous.
this could like I'm sorry, you could sell this for $120 and get $120 for this set. Like, no. So then I sold it on Facebook for $100.
I remember that. Well,
Like,
that's
those
like
ones I
where,
wouldn't have put in the little free library, but like, I have some other books that like,
yeah,
I got them and I thought they were going to be really good and they were trash.
yeah. There's, like I said, like I kind of, so I have one of those, like, what are they called? The little embosser thingies
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
where you, like, stamp your book or whatever. So I have those, and, like, I read a book and then I'll stamp it. But if I don't feel like I want to keep the book, I won't stamp it and I'll donate it to, like, a little library. Because I'm like you, I don't like to donate them to a thrift store. Mostly because it's like for this book, it's a little beat up. You can tell it's kind of beat up. They'd probably charge someone like more than more than I would be willing to pay for it. Like I'd pay like $1.50 for this because like there's a
Yeah.
tear right
And
here.
they would charge at least $6.
Exactly. And it's like, nah, I'm good. You know, so I like doing the free little library because it's like there's so many readers that don't want to go buy new books and they just like to have like used books or whatever, you know? And I feel like the more worn the book is, there's a story behind the book, you know?
Yeah.
Like my Outsiders book, for example. But yeah, I love anything, well, anything free. And I think people need to take more advantage of libraries for that reason.
Yeah.
Because you only get charged if you're late. You never have to pay to like check out the books or
Well,
anything.
and it really depends on the library because like, I've turned in many a library books at my local library very, very late. Never been charged.
Okay. I'm so glad you actually just brought that up because when I restarted my library account here, I owed like $12 and I wasn't allowed because back in the day you weren't allowed to check out a new library book unless you paid off your
If you
fee.
had a balance. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I was reactivating it, I was like, I know that there's a balance. Can I pay it off? Their card machine was down, and so they're like, we can't. And I was like, can I check out a book? Then they're like, yeah, no, it's fine. They're like, we'll put a note in here saying like our system's down. We can't take your payment. And I was like, okay. I tried this for like 2 months, and then one day it just disappeared off, and I was like, hey, I actually even went up because like I get a guilty conscience sometimes. And I was like, there was a balance and I never paid it. And they were like, oh, we just wiped it clean. They're like, our system wasn't working and you kept, like, you were persistent about wanting to pay it. And so we're just like, we'll wipe it clean. And I was like,
He
well,
pays
thank
to be a
you.
good person.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so, like, I've been super on time with my books. And what's nice too, like nowadays, since there's an app for libraries now, most of the time for your local library,
Oh, yeah.
you can recheck it out, renew it on the app. You don't have to go into the library like we used to back in the day and to renew it,
Well, and
which
finding
is
if they have a book now is so much easier because of that.
so
Like,
easy.
you don't have
Yeah.
to go through and scour the shelves anymore
Yeah.
trying to find the one book that you want to read. You can just type it
Yep.
in on your app before even going to the library. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know if your library does it, but mine, I can go online and I can reserve books and they'll put them on a shelf for me and I can just
Hmm.
go in and grab them. I don't even have to do anything
Yeah, no, mine does that too. That's how I'm getting,
where he can't find you.
yeah, that one. That's how I like looked it up and it's on hold for me right now. They haven't told me to come pick it up yet, but I'm gonna return these two library books that I have. Um, I only read one of them because the second library book, it's called Everything But the Truth. I just could not get into it. I like it. It sucks too because it sounds super interesting, and I like how the story could go, but the description is so vague. And then going into it, I don't like the writing style.
Oh,
And
that's hard.
because the writing style is like, so it's in present day and then in the past. But then in the chapter, it'll randomly have flashbacks, but won't tell you that they're in a flashback.
Oh, so then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. So then you're just like, what just happened? And I had to like reread it so many times. I'm like, oh, so we're going to a flashback, but you're not letting me know that it's a flashback. Because you know how in most books they have like all those spaces when like time lapses type of thing. This one didn't have it. And I was like,
Oh, so it
I'm
was
going to
just
get too
like
confused.
paragraph, and then like this paragraph was one thing, and then I just
Yeah.
switched.
And it was like a completely different thing. It's like, how did we get from point A to point D? Like,
How did we get here?
like we're missing some key steps in between. I'm confused. So I just like, I got maybe like 5 chapters in, and I was like,
That was also an issue I had with the book I just read. It would jump from first person to third person point of view, like in the same paragraph, and I'm like, pick one, pick one. What are you doing?
it's so irritating because, again, they have these. It has the ability to be a good book, but when you're, I don't want to even call them a bad writer, just their bad writing style with it, with the particular book.
Well, and that's not even. But the thing is, like, I don't even feel like that's the writer's fault. That's the
No,
editor's fault
exactly.
for not
Yeah,
catching it before publication.
yeah. That's why, like, I don't want to blame it on the writer or anything, because, like, this book, for example, is probably a good book, but my brain can't decipher the stuff. Especially now. Like, I'm just like,
So what?
sometimes it's like, did I write this?
This is not making sense.
Like, these sound like my intrusive thoughts. But yeah, libraries, I love going to the library because sometimes, like in my reading slump, I don't reserve any books. I just go in and I kind of just let the library tell me.
And that's sometimes nice because, like, I feel because the libraries get, like, especially, I don't know how your library is, but mine, like, it'll have a section of, like, new books they just got in.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll get in books that aren't the popular ones that you see when you go to Target or Barnes and Noble and all those things. They're not the TikTok, book talk recommended books when half the time those are crap.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're getting a different view of books that they're going to recommend. And so it's books that you probably wouldn't have been recommended prior if you didn't go to the library.
My favorite section in the library, I don't know if yours does it, is the staff recommended books or like staff picks.
Ooh,
I like to see what everybody else is reading, you know, like Barnes and Noble does that too.
Yes, I was gonna say I do like that in Barnes and Noble as well.
Yeah.
Because I like when they do the little blurb of like why they like it, not just the description of the book.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like I can read the description of the book any time of day. I want to know what a real person thought of this who isn't an influencer online.
Yeah, who's not an influencer, and like I trust most of my friends' opinions, but it's nice to get like a third party who like you don't know and you're just like, "Oh, how'd you like that book?" you know? It's nice to have that. And I don't know, I love getting book recommendations from other people cuz 99% of the time I'll read it. That 1% is if I just tend not to like it.
Yeah, like there's sometimes like people be like, "Oh, you should read this book," and I'm like, "Yeah, that is not my style." That definitely doesn't like people like when people recommend me nonfiction books, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to read that."
I get that. I'm weird about nonfiction too. I like certain biographies, but like certain ones. If that makes sense. And typically, obviously, I like to read them more about celebrities than just a random person. Because, like, you obviously know who the celebrity is. Like, I've read a handful of celebrities' memoirs.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed them. Like, Matthew Perry's, I loved it.
Yes. See, but for a lot of those, like the memoirs, especially if they're written while they're alive, I like to audiobook them because normally they're the ones who are reading their own audio.
Yes, I did that with a Betty White one. And it was Betty White talking. I was like, my heart. It was so
That's
cute.
why
I
I thought
also did it
that
with
was about the
Tom
Matthew Perry
Felton.
one.
Yes, I audiobooked his too because it was nice to hear his voice, you know. And then Tom Felton's pretty good too. Draco.
Oh, yeah, I haven't. Oh, I forgot he did one.
So did I, and then it came up on. I think it came up on my Spotify, and I was like, all right, sure. I like
Yeah, there's
Draco.
sometimes I'll read like I like history nonfiction more,
I get that. I get
but
that.
I'm definitely more of a not of a fiction girly.
Yeah,
Fiction is my
same.
jam. I use that to escape life. Well, even though half the
Same.
time I, you read things and you're like, this is too close to our real life. I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
Oh my god, yeah, I've had a couple books. Yeah, I I always hate though when people ask me what my favorite book genre is because I like to think of myself, and I've seen people on TikTok say this, and I've agreed with them. I'm such an easygoing book person that's like I just said, I will read 90% of whatever people recommend to me. I will read it because I'm so open to pretty much every genre. And I was like, I guess my favorite is just general fiction.
Yeah,
Whether
and I
that includes
definitely.
romance or suspense or whatever, I'm like, it's just fiction in general is what I like.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm definitely like a mood reader. Like I can't just sit down and just read romance after romance after romance. I'm like, okay, this is boring. I need like
Yes,
a romance, then a thriller, and then a historical fiction, and then a this, and then a this. I like to bounce around.
same. And I think that's why I ended up in a reading slump because I was reading so many romances back to back because I was trying to finish that um I forget what it was called. Oh, the
Oh,
Sugar
that
Like
one by
series by Emily
yeah,
McIntyre. Yeah.
Emily Mac.
I have one more book to go, but the third book is when I got into my reading slump. Not that it wasn't a good book because it really was, but I was just having a hard time and I think I was just over the romance.
Well, I think that's where I was at because I was reading the Twisted or the Never After series,
Yeah.
and like I only have two more books in that series, and they're not like the series has been good, but I'm just like, okay, like I've been reading these back to back to back, and then I went for like a fluffy romance, and it wasn't a fluffy romance. She was trying to do like a mystery, and I'm like, this isn't your writing. Stop. This isn't good. I came here for a rom com.
Yeah. And it's weird how I got out of my reading slump. It was technically a romance, but it was a different style of romance because it was the red, white, and royal blue, and it was good. And it wasn't just romance, though. That's the thing. Like
Yeah, it was like
Alex,
a story.
yeah, Alex, my boyfriend, he likes to make fun of me. He's like, "You don't just read smut," and I was like, "No, I don't just read smut." And like for red, white, and royal blue, I was like, there really wasn't anything super smutty in this one. Like, yes, she is kind of like Frida, how she like leads up to it, and then it's like, oh, we were kissing, making out, feeling each other, and we had sex. That's how this was.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I appreciate books that aren't always super smutty, because sometimes it's like I'm over it, and like that's what I like about Frida McFadden's book. And she even said it in one of like in the author's note on all her books. She doesn't write super smutty books. She just says like, "Oh, they had sex. All right, moving forward." I was like, sometimes it is just straight to the point like that.
You know they're into each other. They have some romance. Okay, now for the rest of the story. Now for the real part of the
Exactly.
story.
It's like that they're doing it. Like, I mean, you didn't see Suzanne Collins write about it in freaking Hunger Games, but they had babies, so they did it. It's like you don't need to know that it's happening
To
all the
happen.
time.
Yeah. I agree. I know. I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to decide what I want my next read to be. I mean, I've technically started rereading the From Blood and Ash series because the next book comes out the end of September, and I want to try to read all the books before, but I don't think that's gonna happen
Probably
because
not.
they're pretty hefty books, and I remember most of it, so I think I can just like cliff note it and jump back in. Like as much as I want to reread them, I don't
Yeah,
think it's gonna happen before because I don't want to wait
I understand that.
to read the new one. But and that's like another thing, like the Light Lark series. The hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry, I saw something like a shadow by my window, and I'm on the second floor, so I like kind of freaked out a little bit. It
I
was a
would have too.
leaf,
Oh,
but it
stupid
didn't
leaf.
look like a leaf. But I was like,
Oh.
what the hell is on at my second story? And I kind of like panicked.
This is also what books do to us, you know?
Yeah. Especially creepy
Especially,
books. I'm like, oh, there's something in
yeah.
the corner.
Especially when you
Oh,
read those like thrillers and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because I do love Frida, she's also giving me some trust issues.
absolutely. Well, that's like, I remember this one book vividly that I read in high school, and I wish I could remember what it's called because I want to read it again because it scared me so bad. It was about like these people who were like driving, they were like this couple and they were trying to go somewhere and they took a shortcut on a dirt road and of course their car broke down in front of this creepy ass inn and they go in and there's other people there and they get locked in and there's somebody keeping them locked in and who's like terrorizing them from outside of the house and like they have to like try to like kill him to get away.
Jesus.
And like I remember that book scaring the crap out of me and I was like at my dad's house and I was like laying in bed reading it and then I looked at my closet and I swear someone was in there.
That sounds like me when I was trying to figure out the Mediator book. When I was like, there's this book, it's always been in my head. I read it in like middle school and I had the vaguest description of it when I was asking like a book group about it on Facebook. I was like, here's all I can remember from it, you guys. It was a girl who lived in a house and the ghost's name was Jessie. Like, do what you will with it. And then,
I
but they
know. I feel
found
like
it for me.
what?
Yeah, they found it. They told me the name of it, and then when I went to my favorite bookstore, I found the book. So like I freaking manifested that thing.
I feel like I need to go into Chat GBT and explain everything that I remember of that book and see if they can get it for me. Because I really want it.
It's a book group. They come together.
They really do. But anyway, before I thought there was something creepy outside my window, I went on that tangent. What I was gonna say is I feel like the library is like are a good option for like because the Light Lark series, the new book comes out in December, but the author has already announced that she's already coming out with like special editions of like the really nice cover box ones for every single one of her book. But that one's not coming out. That edition isn't coming out when the book is released in December.
Rude.
Right? And so I was like, okay, but I can't wait to read it until the other edition comes out. So I'm like, well, if I check it out in the library and read it at the library and return it, then I can read it and then just wait for the new edition to come.
Yeah, I gotta get on that series, but
Oh, so
like
good.
I'm in like this suspense thriller era right now. Mood. That's my mood right now, and I'm not entirely sure why, but it is. So I'm just kind of letting myself go through that right now until I get over it.
Well, and I think you're really gonna like Where He Can't Find You for that like mood you're in because
Yeah. I mean,
it's good.
based on the prologue that I've read in the first chapter, I'm like, this seems enticing. I just always choose to read it when I'm going to bed, and I can't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. That's like, remember that one night when I was trying to watch a movie and I was home alone, and I almost put on, it was like a scary Tom Hiddleston movie where he was a vampire, and you're like,
Oh,
don't watch that, and I was like, oh,
Crimson Peak.
yes. And you're like, no, don't watch that, and I was like, why? You're like, it's scary, and you're home alone. I was like,
Thank you. I got you.
yeah. But do you have any like specific habits when you buy books based on like when you look for a book at a library? Are they the same? Are they similar?
I think it really depends because like sometimes I'll just go I'm like, oh, I feel like I am very much the person I just like walking around places with like a coffee and letting the store tell me what I need, which is a really, really, really bad shopping habit.
Yeah. Do as we say, not as we do, you guys, like we said.
But in my defense, the last time I went to Barnes and Noble, I was like, I don't need any books. Like there are books that I want, but I'm like, I'm not gonna buy any because I haven't been actively reading. Like I feel guilty buying books that I know I'm just gonna come put on my shelf. Like, I'm not, like, actively reading stuff. And it was Blaine who was like, no, you should get it. I'm like, well, okay.
You twist my arm.
You tell
See,
me I should.
I
Like,
understand that, and like, I draw myself a limit sometimes. I won't let myself buy like a brand new book. I won't pay full price for it. I'll go to like thrift stores and like look for books, or my favorite bookstore, which is it's called the Half Price Bookstore. It's like a big chain. Um, I've
I
never
still need to go to one of those.
Yes, they're amazing. I've only paid. Sorry, there was a cat hair in my mouth. Um, I've only paid full price for one book there, and that was Onyx Storm. And that's just because I really wanted it that day. Because you had ordered it for me, but it didn't come in on the day that it was supposed to, and I was
Yeah.
impatient and I wanted to start reading it.
Well, that's because that whole thing, the whole Onyx Storm release was such crap because Barnes & Noble, Amazon, none of those places, no one got it on time for pre-orders unless you went to like a midnight release. It was
Yeah.
stupid.
Even
Pissed me
I
off. I will never
pre-ordered.
pre-order a book from Barnes & Noble or Amazon or any of those ever again. I'm going to a local bookstore.
Yeah, I pre-ordered Sunrise on the Reaping from Barnes and Noble, and I got it like 3 days after the actual date it came out. And I was like,
See,
"What's the point of me
I
pre-ordering
was
this?"
going to pre-order that one and then I was like, but then I saw Onyx Storm was literally everywhere the day it came out. Like, it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sold out like it normally was. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go into Target the day that Sunrise on the Reaping is released. And I did, and they had so many copies.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, this is a book buying habit that I have. I'm very picky when, like, especially if I'm gonna pay full price for a book. I will go through every book. I will, if it's a hardcover, I will take the jacket off and make sure nothing is like bent and messed up because I'm not buying a book that's already damaged if I'm gonna spend $20 on a book.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
No, I
will go
totally.
through the stacks at Barnes and Noble to find the one book.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that. I can get pretty picky about that too. Um, but it kind of depends on the book itself too, because if it's a book that I'm like, if I'm gonna donate it later, I'm okay with it, type of thing, or it just depends on how into the book I am or how much I want it. Like,
Most of them, if I'm buying them brand new, I'll make sure they look nice because then I
yes,
can, like, if I decide I want to resell them, like my Throne of Glass books, like they were in really good shape, so the price I felt comfortable selling them for the price that I was selling them at because of the condition they were in.
yeah, yeah, and that's where it's like also nice to go to thrift stores and stuff to like look for books because you can find some in really good shape for really cheap. Like I found Dear Evan Hansen. It looks almost freaking brand new and
Yeah,
pristine,
it does.
and I paid like I think $2 for it, and I was like, sweet, like that's a good buy. Like, and it
Yeah,
looks
and I
pretty
think
good.
my like buying, it's not even my buying habit. It's just I think it's more of a pet peeve. I really hate, like, I understand why authors come out with special editions of books and stuff, but I also hate it because then it's like, buy this edition, buy this edition, buy this edition. I don't need 5 copies of the same book when I'm gonna read one of them. Like, I would rather have it already announced that you're gonna do this. Like, especially in a series. Like, I understand Light Lark, when it first came out, it wasn't, she was a newer author. It obviously isn't gonna have a special edition, and it came out after the fact.
Yeah,
But, like, special edition Onyx Storm, like, we know there's gonna be a special edition. Don't come out with it after the fact. Don't wait 4 months later and be like, oh, look, now you can get the one where your Iron Flame, Fourth Wing, and Onyx Storm are all matching. I'm like, that's crap. Or like the all black Akatar series.
yeah, yeah. I do have technically 2 copies of Fourth Wing. One's the soft cover, and it has the dragons on the edge.
The
I just wanted
dragon.
the dragons though, so that's the only reason why I got that. And there was like bonus scenes in it. That's what I hate. It's like, why not just put all those in the main book, especially if it ends up being relevant to the whole story? You know, if it's
Yeah.
just like a deleted scene that doesn't really matter, whatever, I'm fine with it. But
Yeah,
hello,
I have one. I have 2 copies of Fourth Wing because Blaine got me one for Christmas, and it had
Yeah.
like the chapter and black sprayed edges. And I was like, but I was like, I appreciate this, but I already have this book. Like, I don't need another copy of this book. I'm not out for collecting books. They don't make money. It's not like the longer they sit on your shelf, the more value they're gonna have.
Seriously.
Not a collector's
Yeah.
item.
Well, that's even like, I know you do this and I do this when when I have a whole series, but they're mixed between hard and soft cover. I like to make a decision after a while, be like, okay, I want them all in like hardcover now. I'll get rid of my soft cover ones as soon as I replace them. Like, be like, okay, I don't need this in soft cover. Like, I just need Divergent in a hardcover, and then that series is all hardcovers. Because I just
See,
found 4 at the first store.
I need to replace because I have the box set of
Oh,
Divergent,
yeah.
but I loaned my Divergent book years ago to someone and I never got it back. So I need to replace the Divergent book, but the problem is because if depending on what publishing company they come through, they'll be different sizes. So I have
Yeah.
to make sure it's the right size.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't really tell it's not there because I have the book jacket, but I don't
I
have the
didn't
book.
know it wasn't there until you told me when I saw it.
Yeah, it's like, am I really gonna read it again? Probably not. So
I know. I actually want to reread all my old fantasy series because I'm at that point where I'm starting to forget how it all went. Like, I know I read it, and like if somebody could refresh my memory, like Hunger Games, for example, it's been like a solid 10 plus years since I've read the first 3 books. And Divergent, same. Harry Potter, I don't even want to begin of how long it's been since I read those.
yeah,
But like Harry Potter, I want to get all in hardcover too because I have the original ones, like
yeah,
the
they're
original
so
cover.
hard to find
They
because they
are
don't sell them anymore. They sell the new ones, and like
the
the
new
thing that
ones.
sucks is because I'm missing book 4. I'm only missing book 4 of mine, and the front cover of the new ones are the old covers, but the spines are different, and so the spine won't match all my other spines.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too because I'm really picky about mine, and I need to replace my 7th is a hardcover, but it just doesn't have the sleeve, and I don't know where it went because I got it at a thrift
Well,
store.
I've shown you my hardcover 7th, and it's
Yeah, yours is
rough.
some shit.
Yeah, I need to. That's the only one that's in hardcover, so I need to get that one in paperback too. But like, I'm more worried about finding the 4th book, so I have a completed series at this point.
I completely understand. I completed my Bridgerton series this year, and they're all.
Woohoo!
That's another series I'd like to complete. I would like to complete by the end of this year. I don't think I'm going to because those books I
What ones
have
do
to.
you need? What ones do you need? If send me the ones you don't have by Christmas time, and maybe they'll show up as a present.
It's all the like one-off ones, like the
Oh,
prequel.
okay.
Yeah, I forget. I think they're somewhere back there, but I have the main 8,
1, 2, 3,
and then I
4,
have the
5, 6.
ninth one
Apparently, I'm missing one.
of the Bridgerton.
Yeah, I only have 7.
Which one are you missing?
I don't know, but apparently I'm missing one. Okay, hold on, I can look.
Okay.
Because I have the first one, I have the second one, I have the third one, I have the 4th one, 5th, 6th. I don't have It's in His Kiss, the Hyacinth one.
Oh, okay. You know that one's actually weirdly hard to find because that was the one I was trying to find forever.
And I don't have. Oh, what the fuck? What is this one? I don't know what this one is. Happily Ever After? The Bridgertons Happily Ever After? This one isn't
But
even.
yeah, that's it's like a prequel because it's Violet's story. It's the mom.
Okay, well, okay, I'm missing the last 2 then because this isn't even technically the original.
Okay. I think that's the one actually I have. Like the ninth one.
I'm missing Hyacinth from Gregory's story. I'm
Gregory.
missing the last 2 siblings because apparently I have this one and I thought it was one. But then it's really annoying because I have 2 books that are this size and all the rest of the books are this size.
Oh, see, I hate that. That's something I was really picky about with that series in particular because of those. I have the bigger ones.
I like the bigger ones too, and I didn't realize that there was different sizes until I brought them home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because these are the Barnes and Noble ones, and these are the Target ones.
Huh. Okay. That's so funny. Yeah, mine are, I guess, the Barnes and Noble ones, but I got them at the half price bookstore, and then I found the first four in a box set at a thrift store, completely unopened. They were brand new.
Nice.
$12.
A good thrift book find. The only thing that stresses me, okay, this is my only thing about buying from a thrift store that stresses me out is getting either book mold or book, I think they're called book lice.
Yeah.
So you gotta freeze your books when you get them from the thrift store.
Freeze them?
Yeah, if you put them in the freezer overnight, it'll kill if they have any book fleas.
I've never done that, but I've never had the issue. But I might
I
start doing
look
that.
through
I
my
always
books
do
pretty
this
well
weird thing.
before I take them home, though.
I was just about to say that I do this weird thing. I sanitize them before I actually bring them into my home.
Well, and I like look through them. I'm like
Yeah.
scouring the pages, like.
Well, then especially during COVID, I would buy some books during COVID too. I'd literally take the sanitizer spray that we always had, and I would just spray the fucking book. Like not like directly, but you know, like at a distance, I would spray it, open it, like,
Fan it while you.
yeah. Oh, but yeah, I'm when I buy at thrift stores, I'm very much I judge it by its cover.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
Yeah,
at thrift
I do
stores,
too.
yeah, I just don't like to take the time to read
I
what it's
definitely,
about at thrift
and the thing
stores.
is, like, but that has shot me in the foot before, because I've bought in books that I'm like, oh, this looks great, and like you read the description and it sounds great, and then the book is a total flop.
This one, I didn't read the description of it. It looked intriguing. Like, you see the cover of this, it looks pretty intriguing. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And then I started to read it, and then I read the back of it, and I was like, this is the most vaguest description of something I've ever read. Like, what is the point? I'm wasting my time. Yeah, I have no specific way I look for books.
Yeah, me either. The only time, like, when I was actively buying lots of books because I wanted to expand my library and I was like reading a book a week or
Mm-hmm.
multiple books a week, when I was like really
Mm-hmm.
actively reading, I would look for the sales. Like when Target has the buy two get one
Oh, yeah.
free, or when Barnes and Noble has like the 3 for $25 hardcover sales. Like that was when I was filling my shelves and actively looking for books like that. It was definitely when I would look for the sales, or like the Second and Charles store. They had like a 90, like you pay, like I think they have it once a year. You pay however you pay a penny a page, so however many pages the book had is how much you paid for the book. So if it was like 425 pages, you
Yeah.
paid $4.25.
Which is a steal, you know. Like that's a good deal.
Yeah, and then if the book was like if it had more pages than, if it was a used book and it was like an 800-page book, you didn't pay over $5. So no matter what,
Nice.
like you were making like a good deal on it. So that,
Yeah.
especially when I was reading a lot, that's what I did. But now, like, I'm trying to just not buy books as much because I haven't been reading. And I've been looking on Kindle a lot more, like Kindle Unlimited. I'm like, what can I read for free?
For free. No, I've been trying to do that too, but sometimes I just get so sick of reading on my Kindle and I miss having a physical book in my hand.
See, that is where I've been the opposite lately. Like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, oh, I really want to read like my From Blood and Ash series, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to hold this physical book. But I would have had to pay for it on Kindle. It's not on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm like, okay. Because I probably would have finished it by now if I had it on my Kindle. And I think it's just because my hand right now, it hurts to hold my books.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And so I was
I
like,
could see
oh, my
that.
Kindle is way lighter. And like, you can just lay it on something and it doesn't, like, a book doesn't, like, if you lay it on something, it'll flip the page and close. And
Yeah. It's nice
really
like
first
that.
world problem, but it's frustrating.
So that's what I like. When I go to the gym, for example, I'll take my iPad with me and I'll read, and it works out sometimes because I'll have the physical copy at home and then it's on my Kindle also. That happens a lot with my Frida books because all of her books are
Yeah,
on
all
Kindle
of her books
Unlimited.
are on Kindle.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I love that. And that's how I've read so many of her books, honestly. And I'll be able to like take it with me when I'm trying to read at the gym, because I don't like doing a physical book at the gym. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Way too hard. I've tried it before and I'm like, oh, this is a no go. I'm sticking with my iPad for the Kindle. And I just do that, and then I'll like mark the page where I'm at on the physical book at home, and then like I'll pick up the physical book, and then it's just easy.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because it's easier to like take your Kindle places than it is a book sometimes.
It is, yeah. I completely agree. But yeah, my book buying habits and book checking out habits have no rhyme or reason. They just wherever the wind blows me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I definitely feel like if you don't have a library card and you are an active reader, like you should get a library card, because even if you don't check out books for months at a time, it's not like it matters, and then you can go to the library. Like, I like going to the library and letting the library tell me what I need sometimes.
Same, yeah. Like I go to the library maybe once a month or once every other month when I'm, and it kind of just comes when I'm running out of things that I want to read on my own shelf. And sometimes it's like my audition for books too, in the sense of like, it'll tell me if I want to buy that book, you know?
Yeah,
Like
and
I
that's
did
another
that.
thing is
Yeah,
like,
it's a good
it's
way to
like, oh,
audition.
I don't know if I want to buy it. Let me just like test it out.
Exactly. That's what I did with the first Bridgerton book. I checked it out at the library and I read it. It was really good, and I was like, okay. And the second book was on Kindle Unlimited, so I read that, and I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to like, I will buy this
Commit.
series. Like, I would buy, it. Yeah. And so that was my goal, was to purchase all of those books because it's quite the series.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like it's a commitment, but not, because it's not like they're over 500 pages long. They're not.
That's true. They're pretty short. They're like 300-page books.
Yeah, 300 page, maybe a little over 400, and I mean like barely. They're all like normal sized books, and so it's like, okay, it's not that big of a commitment. It's just a long series.
Yeah. But yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend a library card.
Absolutely. I think more people need to take advantage of that because it is free. It's one of the few things in life that's completely free.
And just have access to that. Like, that's your right.
Yeah.
Use it.
Because you can just sit at the library too. Like, they don't kick you out. They don't be like, oh, if you don't have a book, you can't just sit in here. Like, you can just use the library just to sit there. You could go there to read if you wanted to, and they wouldn't care.
I love going places to read. That's my favorite thing to do.
I need to take advantage of it more, but I just don't. There's not a ton of places for me to go here.
That's fair. I like going. I just recently bought um a blanket, and a picnic blanket, and it like rolls up and has a handle, so I can like, I just leave it in my car, and I'm like, oh, I'll just like drive to the park and lay out my blanket and go read. So that's been nice.
Awesome. I like that.
Or
Yeah.
I go to coffee shops a lot, and we'll just sit and read, because like I also like reading at coffee shops, because I'll like have my book and I'll like be reading whatever, and then like you can people watch for a little bit and then go back to reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy doing that too. I enjoyed it when we did it when I was visiting. That was fun. And yes, we do read together. That's completely real.
I enjoy reading together with people. Like the book
It's
club I was
fun.
in with my other friends, they're like, you just sit in a room and read together? I'm like, yeah. Because then we're reading the same book, and we're like, you're like, what? Are you to the part?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I like it. And it also holds me
It's
accountable, because I'm
fun.
like, oh, they're actively reading. I also need to be actively reading.
It's so true. And it's just like you get to sit in comfortable silence. Yeah, that's our take on libraries and our book buying habits versus buying books.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think we both recommend. Definitely save the penny when you can. If you can check out the book and not have to spend money on it, go that route.
Yeah.
But
$3.99 is the best.
$3.99 is the best. Well, thank you everyone for
Yes,
tuning
thank you,
in
thank you.
to our another episode of Two Piece Potting. Make sure to like and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And like and subscribe on the YouTubes.
Follow us on Spotify too, and listen to us on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Spotify. Duh, Spotify. The main platform.
That's where we are still. Yeah. That's still our main platform. We haven't expanded yet.
Yeah.
Mostly
I
because
think
my
we're
brain
doing
can't
pretty good.
handle it.
Between
Yeah.
YouTube and Spotify, I think we're pretty cushy.
Yeah. If you ever want to see what we're talking about, because we have a lot of visual representation on the pod. Look at us on YouTube. That's where you'll see the whole video.
Yes. And sometimes little snippets on TikTok when I get my life together.
You know when it's me posting the videos, and you know when it's Sam. I don't put anything extra in it because I can't. So if you see a very plain video, I did that.
That's
I just
okay. We wouldn't
handle
have a
editing.
podcast if it wasn't for Kylie, because it wouldn't happen.
I handle the editing of the main thing. That's it. Like, it's easy. I mean, that's not easy either, but that's not the point.
You can do it a lot easier than I can.
You can do the videos a lot easier than I can.
That's fair.
A very low tech woman, you guys.
But that's it for this week's episode of Two Piece Potting. Until next time, we're just gonna be potting through life, one book at a time, if that, if we can get out of our reading slump.
If that, yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Bye, guys.
Okay.